And Preston, in these early moments, what are the keys for both teams if they want to come away with a victory here?
First, starting from Morehead State, again, we mentioned this already, but they got to carry their momentum from their first victory of the season last week against Chattanooga. Head coach Warren Lipka felt that was the most complete game that they had played this year so far. And really, if they don't change the script and kind of follow that, they'll be in good shape here today.
Lear with a good play. Has a shot on it. She scores! Opening minute goal, Molly Lear. What a move, what a finish, and Evansville starting off quickly with a first-minute goal.
And again, that puts pressure on the defense for Morehead State right away. Good aggressiveness out of the gate here by Evansville. Like I said, great cutback move there by Molly Lear. And then sticks it to the top left corner, getting above the outstretched arms of Washburn. Like I said, Evansville coming out aggressive here with that first goal of the game. And that was kind of the key for me, for Evansville going into this, is that they've been a pretty good second-half team this year, but they need to get off to that, not really a fast start, but a quality start within the first opening minutes. And I guess you can say they have achieved that today.
Yeah, the perfect start that Krista McKendry wanted for Evansville. Purple Aces, the head coach for Evansville. As Evansville leads 1-0. We've barely played a minute so far in this match, and Morehead State not going to be thrown out of this one. They're going to get a corner kick to start off, so they're going to get an offensive chance here. Corner kick taken on the near side. See how it is defended. And sent into the box. Headed down. Played away. Not quite. Still in the box now. Cleared.
That was a dangerous ball.
Yeah. As for Morehead State, going to play another one in the box, and Till going to come up and collect this one.
But just to explain more about how that ball, usually you see a lot of corner kicks from most teams go toward the top of the six. That went to the PK spot where really there was two Morehead State players right there, attackers, wide open near the PK spot. No defense whatsoever. And then that header down put the ball on the ground, the 6-yard box, which became a dangerous second chance opportunity for Morehead State. Just couldn't quite capitalize there.
Washburn with the right foot sends it as far as Caitlin Burdine. She has Rickett on her, and Rickett will actually take it away. Emily Rickett, the sophomore for Evansville. Now it's Michaela Harvey. Played back. Sierra Pagan collects it for the Purple Aces and goes forward.
And one thing you'll consistently see with Evansville offensively is they'll try to get up to their front line as often as possible, especially with the likes of Sarah Osinski, who had that game-winning goal in the 71st minute on Friday night against Miami, Ohio, as well as Montana Portnier, one of the leaders offensively for this Evansville squad.
Giving you this broadcast is a fast start, a couple chances on both sides so far in this first half. Lear trying to get another one. So it's headed up, headed again, still played in the box, and it's in! The Purple Aces score. Montana Portnier getting goal number 2 of the season. She just found it at her feet and sent it in the back of the net. 2-0 Evansville with 14 minutes left in the first half.
Again, just a dangerous second chance ball that just kept floating around in the box. Wow. Nice little outer part of the foot, using the laces, though, to get that one over Washburn.
Good touch, good score from Portnier, and the lead is doubled for the Purple Aces.
And interestingly enough, so far this season going into today's game, only 2 goals total in the first half for Evansville. Well, they already have 2 here today in the first half.
Matching that, and as you talked about, getting off to that early start, that's what Evansville wanted. Back here at Arrowhead McKesson Stadium, still in halftime for Evansville Purple Aces taking on the Morehead State Eagles. As we're taking a look at the first half stats in this one, as pretty even so far, but Evansville, the big numbers there, the shot totals, and of course the goals there.
And that's the big key right now. Evansville's just getting more of the finishing opportunities, more of the shots. It's obvious there, 8-2. Where, again, we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast where Morehead State defensively, they need to take some of that pressure off their defense. Well, they're not doing that.
Yeah.
Their pressure's been under constant pressure here today, allowing Evansville to get good shots, whereas Morehead State, they've had good build-up, but they're not getting as many shots off. But some encouraging signs, though, for Morehead State still in this game.
And what should the keys be for both teams? Evansville, obviously, the 2-goal lead, but now Morehead State, they don't score a lot, but they're going to need something to get back in this one.
Well, for Evansville, they just got to keep doing what they've been doing. It's obviously worked with 2 goals in the first half, something that they're not really used to this year. But for Morehead State, they got to change things around a little bit. They have to. They're down 2 goals.
Yeah.
But Coach Lipka, when we talked to him the other day, he mentioned that this team has been good at adapting to changes this year. So once again, they might have to do that here today.
They're getting ready for the second half. We'll have it to you when we come back. Keep it tuned here to The Valley on ESPN3. Take another look. Washburn able to get to it, and Schrader just couldn't get the touch on that one on the rebound.
Good dive and save there by Washburn on a ball that kind of had a little bit of late downward movement. Able to kind of find room between traffic to make that save. And then, like you said, another rebound opportunity that could have led to another goal for the Aces. Schrader right there, right into her path, too.
Yeah.
And that's why she was extremely frustrated. You can't get a ball right out to your feet off a rebound quite like that. I mean, there's nothing she could do to really control it, but it's just something where you just like to have that one back when it's right there on a platter for you.
Yep. We have a matchup of 2 very high scorers, starting with Nicholas Brodacki.
He's been sensational once again in his sophomore season with the Central Arkansas Bears. 10 goals on the year, and it's amazing what he has done because, again, he was amazing last year in his freshman year, and he's picked up and done even more, and he's already earned a couple MVC Offensive Player of the Week awards this year.
And his counterpart, second place in the Missouri Valley Conference in goals, Ian McGrath.
Ian McGrath coming up with the game winner on Saturday, last matchup for Evansville on the road at Drake. 1-0 win for the Purple Aces, and of course, when you need a goal, you go to your go-to guy, and Ian McGrath delivered for Evansville in that game.
It's sure to be an exciting one. It's midweek soccer here on the Valley on ESPN3. Kick for Olsen and the Bears.
Olsen, 1.24 goals against average this year, not too shabby, 47 saves. His save percentage just a couple ticks below 75%. Which I'm sure he probably would like to have that a little bit higher, closer to maybe about 80% or so. But so far, you can't complain with too many of the results. Obviously, right now, especially in conference play, Central Arkansas has put themselves in position to compete for the regular season title.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 5-1 in conference play, and only the one loss we talked about against Missouri State, especially in conference play. Olsen has been very, very good. He's been doing most of the work here in this game.
And again, it's just really Central Arkansas. They've just been kind of slowly creeping their way up in the standings the last few years. They used to be kind of toward the bottom, maybe 2-3 teams. Last year they were toward the middle. Now here they are at the top. So again, it's just kind of been a process where these players have bought into the program that Coach Duncan has put forth. And then again, with returning a bunch of starters and players from last year, that can only make things better.
Bears cross it. San Roman, who headed it, it's played back, and Bears able to get it back. Put in their back line in Blake Stricker. Now forward. Bears a good throw, and Will Laffer. Brodacki and Baum collide on that one. Brodacki comes up with a throw-in. I've not called his name a lot this game.
Thinking the same thing.
It really has not been the offense for Central Arkansas are still trying to get their feet under him this game, and Brodacki has not been a part of it so far. Here comes a shot blocked there by Chris Schuck.
And most of that credit has to go to Evansville defensively.
Yeah.
You see Trevor Baum back there, as well as sometimes Simon Waver, where they're just kind of keeping an eye on him and almost boxing him out in times to not let him get turned around or find space to even open himself up for a pass from a teammate.
Yeah, as I'm watching it right now, Brodacki just surrounded by the defensive line. Not in the proximity side, but just all 4 defenders know where he is. That's important. Here's Simon Waver with speed, playing it forward. Waver looking for some help as far as Trevor Baum for the Purple Aces. Secondary cross. Olsen comes up and just gets to it there as he had to re-find it after he made a good play to come off his line. Just couldn't collect it fully on the first catch. But he has it now and moves it away.
That's just hard-nosed goalkeeping right there, not being afraid to come out. You see him just come flying in. Again, didn't quite catch it and settle it in right away, but able to find it. Of course, he gets, I guess, I don't want to say really true advantage, but he gets a little bit more leeway. It's kind of like quarterbacks in football. You know, they get a little bit more protection, goalkeeping the same way.
Yeah.
Where you saw, I believe that was Sam Bonanno, who kind of just stirred away at the last second there.
Yeah, with any sort of contact between an attacking player and a goalkeeper, as you mentioned, the advantage will go to the goalkeeper, as especially in the 18-yard box, that is his ball to play.
And even though Olsen didn't come out directly, kind of laying out sideways, you can tell where he kind of slightly angled his body, where he used his back as kind of a protector, because he saw, again, I believe that was Bonanno right there that was ready to pick that up if it came loose. That's the thing. The goalkeepers, they have to come out. They have to be ready to either use their hands, punch it away, but they also have to think not only how do they play the ball, but how do they play themselves? You know, how do they position their body to also give themselves protection?
And you can see on that last replay, that was the right decision there as Bonanno was shading over. So with 1 minute to go, it's been deflected up. Philip Johansson going to track it down. Still under a minute. Looking at their final chances of the first half. Short cross, played forward, bouncing a couple times. And it will be a goal kick. Last touch by a couple of Purple Aces. Ball bouncing in the 18-yard box, always dangerous, but no one back there for Evansville to do anything with it.
And at least with those first two runners toward the near side of the box, great runs in terms of direction. They're in that diagonal position, I guess, if you will, where if it goes through that first one, there's that second guy right there behind it. Unfortunately, just took another bounce back there as well. But then that's when you kind of hope where you see a lot of set pieces, especially free kicks on out. You might see three guys making that diagonal run.
Brodacki clears this one out of play, and that'll be how we end the first half. Central Arkansas coming into Evansville and putting up a goal in the first half. 1-0 is the score from Sweden. Cross, a good one, headed in, and scoring are the Evansville Purple Aces. Headed once by Ian McGrath, and Ben Weber right there to tap it in. He's going to look down the line to see if it was offside, but it is not, and we are tied here midway through the second half.
And I was going to say, as that build-up started to take place, that for me, Philip Johansson's had some good minutes coming off in the reserve role, and he kind of started that play after that throw-in. And just good unselfishness there. Wanted the long ball into the box, but you saw McGrath, he probably was initially trying to head that one toward goal, but he didn't try to overhead that one, I guess you could say, or over snap it in. So he just puts it back across the frame of goal, and Ben Weber right there to clean it up.
With 15 to go. Waver. Long ball, played in the backside, headed up once, twice, a third time. McGrath scores for Evansville. Game winner. Evansville wins with 8 seconds left. 2 good touches, and you see the players mob there. A big win for the Purple Aces. Preston, what'd you see on that one?
Well, first of all, I saw Chris Shuck going back to the top of the box to go to the ball.
Yeah.
And then heading it backwards. Obviously, the throw was not online right at Chris Shuck, so he goes back, gets it, and just kind of the flip-flop of what we saw from the first goal, where it's McGrath to Weber. Then it's Weber who heads it back to McGrath, following up the play on the backside. And just good route running, I guess you can call it, from Evansville, staying with their runs toward goal, staying disciplined, and making the direct run toward goal, and staying in their pass or their tracks, whatever you want to call it. And just a great setup there for the Purple Aces, and obviously a game winner there for McGrath in Evansville.